Israeli airstrikes are thought to have killed 2 people today in southern Lebanon as fears increase of a wider regional war. It followed a rocket attack launched from Lebanon over the weekend, which killed 12 children and young people in the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights. Israel blamed militant group Hezbollah, but it has denied carrying it out. And it has further heightened tension between the two sides, with the US Secretary of State appealing for restraint. Here's our senior international correspondent, John Irvine, with the latest.
The fact it took investigators more than 24 hours to identify the remains of a 12th child killed is indicative of the carnage wrought by the rocket strike. Today, the Druze of Majd al-Shams gathered to honour 11-year-old Gavara Ibrahim. This minority community had hoped to sit on the sidelines of the conflicts raging all around. But instead, this afternoon, these heartbroken people found themselves playing host to the Israeli Prime Minister. For some in the crowd, Mr. Netanyahu was not welcome. His critics believe his policies are in part to blame for what happened. Nonetheless, his visit underlined the significance of a massacre that constitutes the worst civilian loss of life on the Israeli side since October the 7th. Our response will come, and it will be severe, he said. But while this massacre has raised the prospects of all-out war, it also illustrates why the Israelis don't want one. Firstly, Hezbollah are much better equipped than Hamas, possessing powerful Iranian weapons like the one that killed the children. Secondly, Israel is already fighting a war in Gaza. As well as that, the security situation on the West Bank is getting worse. Effectively, the IDF finds itself fighting, or at least having to have a big presence on 3 fronts: in the north, the south, and the west. The Israelis are also having to keep an eye out for incoming ordnance fired from Yemen, Iraq, and Syria. But the most ominous front is the confrontation with Hezbollah. It has the potential to bring about a regional war, and progress is urgently required on the diplomatic front to avert that. John Irvine, ITV News, Tel Aviv.